Hello. Oh no, my thinking cat. Oh, that was nearly an hour, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Hi. How are we doing? Hi, Sherlock. Today we're playing Sherlock Holmes: Crimes and Punishments. I do want to preface this by saying that normally on a Saturday I try to do as little thinking as humanly possible. Saturday is my day off from everything. Just no thinking whatsoever. However, yesterday morning I got a message from a friend saying, "Are you free this morning to come and do 2 escape rooms? Because we've had someone drop out. So we've got a space free and you won't have to pay because it's already paid for." And I was like, yeah. So yesterday I did 2 escape rooms before lunchtime. So how much brain power I've got left today, I don't know. We'll see. Either it's warmed me up nicely for solving murders, nor crimes. I presume they're murders. They tend to be murders. They might all be murders. I think there's like 3 different crimes to solve in this game. I don't know. So either it's warmed my brain up, or it's used up all my brain cells. I don't know. One or the other. But we'll see, I guess. I was going to say, have I changed the language to something I don't read, but no. There's no sound. Why is there no sound? There should be sound. Why do there be no sound? There should be sound. Let's start it again. It's going well already, isn't it? There was definitely sound earlier. I actually tested it this time. There we go. Frogs and everything. Let me know about the sound levels, as per. I can change them. Might have to turn the music down a bit. It's good music though. BSI, they're the Baker Street Irregulars, right? I also don't know what sort of a game this is, if this is a walking around game or if this is a point and click game or...
Holmes.
Right, hang on. Let me just turn all the volumes down a tad bit. I can turn them up for you guys separately if it's too quiet. What do I do? What do I do? I don't know. What can... Oh, there we go. This doesn't feel like good cover.
You are utterly mad. Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate. Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I
Yes.
suppose that Watson is right.
No, I think
Inspector.
Mrs. Hudson's
A little
pretty
brain
sane.
work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should have
Mr.
Mrs.
Holmes.
Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
Okay. So we've got tasks. Select a suit. Evidence. We have no evidence. I mean, somehow we know what the dead person looked like. Okay, we can look back through all our conversations. That's useful to know. Okay.
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
I mean, Holmes is never going to learn anything, is he?
This is where I keep my post.
If he gets away with doing whatever he wants,
My
and then
archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
they all clean up after him. I need to choose a suit to wear. Maybe not the morning gown. That's casual. I think maybe quite like that one. To makeup. Well, I don't know. I guess the padlock means there's stuff we could unlock later. There we go. I don't think we need to wear glasses. I'm not going to give him any facial hair. I just want to look at them all. You've got to go through all the options in character creation, haven't you? Such as it is. Right. So makeup options or the costume you've currently equipped are not available at the moment. Okay. What? Oh, I can't wear my hat. Oh. Okay. Okay. Let's snoop round Watson's room. Watson, I'm in your bedroom. I'm doing snoop. No. There's no snoopings to be had. I thought we were lying down. But we're not. We're sitting, aren't we? We're in a carriage. The camera angles are very strange.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Footprints.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
No, we've got some evidences. There's a capable gardener. It's big old footprints. I guess if it's green, that means we've already done it.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes?
Are you two brothers? It's very sweet.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here. after his retirement.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
No, we're gonna sniff her face. There's nothing for sniffs. Crested tit. It's a bit personal, isn't it? That was an ominous noise.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Never mind.
What? Was I supposed to say never mind or what?
You have indeed.
Yes.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
I don't know how I know
Never
about
mind.
Plymouth.
You
What?
have it.
Yeah.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh,
But goodness, how do you know about that? Oh. Choose the evidence that confronts the statements of a character in order to continue the investigation. I don't know. She's a very religious Christian Catholic woman. Undertook a St. James Way pilgrimage when she was young. Don't really know about the footprints. He's a capable gardener. No, not that. Well, sorry.
You have indeed suffered a great...
Yes.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Oh, how do we know about Plymouth?
You undertook a pilgrimage to the cathedral
I thought it...
of Santiago de
I didn't read the
Compostela
question.
when
I
you
thought
were
it was
young.
how did we know he was
That
different.
much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Thank you, madam.
Where's... What's his face gone? Lestrade. No, no, we're not going in the house. Okay. Looks nicely lit in there, but can't go in. Ah, here he is.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
I love that the police are like, don't worry, we didn't disturb the crime scene for you. It's like,
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
Hello, hello, hello. What's all this then? Go, go, gadget eyeballs.
These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Now, a mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
My diagnosis?
Way to die.
Dead as a doornail.
The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
There's a place where the thing was. Yeah, suspicious.
This
Suspicious.
place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book, a box or a small chest, perhaps. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
Oh.
The
Oh. Why has it got a question mark then? Am I going to have to look at them later?
old navigation instruments, nothing interesting.
I mean, they're quite interesting. They're not relevant to the case, maybe, but they're interesting.
Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8.
I don't know what size the footprints were, other than they were large. Find a use? Ah, so we can talk to people about that. We can use that.
Someone drank from this glass recently.
And there's 2 glasses.
The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work.
Okay, so that was his pouch.
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
Yes, because that makes sense. Oh. That bottom bit kind of seems to work, but not with the rest of it. Maybe this way round? It's maybe looking a bit better. That's looking a lot better. But those bits... Ah, I can move you. Right, so let's get you out of the way. Let's line up everything else. Like that. And then we can put you there. And we can put you there. Yes.
This is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
I mean, I could have told you that just from the fact that he's a sailor. And it's a sailor's tobacco pouch.
Rum.
And it's got his initials on
It
it.
seemed that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
Enjoying a drink with someone. Because there's 2 glasses, Sherlock. Oh.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded.
I'm going to examine the body last, because that's the most interesting bit. Save the best till last.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
JHN is not the initials of Peter Carey.
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey.
By the murderer. Huh.
These abbreviations mean something.
Well, obviously.
This wooden handle is plain and solid.
I mean, it's not plain, it's got an anchor on it.
This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed. Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon. This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer.
I can be caught by surprise while I'm fully dressed. I don't think people run around naked unless they're expecting company. I mean, maybe they do. I don't know how you live. But I could still be caught by surprise while fully dressed.
The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
So we're looking for someone strong. Oh. Okay. Find a pair of related clues and they will form a deduction. Okay. No? Okay. Ah, yeah, someone was breaking in to get the notebook. See if the break-in attempt will be repeated.
Someone was here yesterday. They
Yes.
attempted to force the door to gain entry.
Because they realised they left their notebook. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! But can we do the boots with the prints? Oh, they're too small.
The footprints.
No, they do not. Interesting. Okay, so we've got a tobacco pouch and a box. I guess we need to talk to the wife about those. She'd know, wouldn't she? If he had a box and a tobacco pouch.
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be, but he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Maybe it wasn't then.
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
Thank you, madam.
I love that this guy had a man cave before man caves were even a thing.
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky.
And why is that?
Because we're not
Because of
him.
last night's attempted break-in.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
Okay, so now what do we do? Okay, well, haven't we done all that? Do we need to go inside? To hide? No? Excuse you?
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes?
These footprints appear to be...
Okay. So I need some more evidence.
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps
Behind
Carey's
Carey's
near
cabin.
the window.
I mean, just saying we need to be near a window.
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Hey, K-Wolf! How are you doing?
Shh. Did you hear that?
It's one piece of classic literature that I've actually read.
There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
Do it.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there.
Someone broke into the crime scene.
Mr. Holmes, come and see what we've caught in our net.
What have we
All
caught
right,
in
my
our
fine
net?
fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
No, we're not. It's nothing to do with the book,
And what are you doing in his cabin?
as far as I
Shall
know.
I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after
We're
killing
in
Peter
Sussex.
Carey, but we were here, waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't.
It's your
You
notebook.
came here yesterday.
No, but I. Yes, it's
Good,
just
I'm
that
glad
I
you're doing
couldn't-
good.
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't. I'm not. It's a terrible mistake.
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector. But please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
no! That's annoying. It always seems that these things happen at once, doesn't it? And they're never cheap things.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes?
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. Can I help you?
Good morning, Constable. I would like to speak to the fellow who was arrested at Woodman's Lee last night.
Ah, the young man. He's waiting in the interrogation room. You can go straight through. His belongings are held in the evidence room.
I love that we're just allowed to do the police investigation for them.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes?
These are the suspect's belongings.
Oh no. What game do you play? If you don't mind saying.
A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
I have never heard of it. Arc Knights. Never heard of that either.
A handkerchief with the initials J.H.N.
From R. Dawson to my friend and partner. 1883.
To my friend and partner, 1883. From R. Dawson. Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
I mean, I've seen the name Dawson before. It's not
The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's
an
cabin
uncommon
floor.
name.
These abbreviations mean something, but what?
Fair enough. It's always nice when you find a good game that's not trying to drain your money. I don't know why I'm going to the morgue, but I'm going to the morgue. Just doing a generalised snoop. No, nothing for the snooping.
Locked.
Well, it's very rude. Aha, this is what I'm supposed to be. It's not that shabby. You're very rude, Sherlock. Okay, that's slightly shabby. But also thrifty. But it's expensive fabric. So he used to have money? Elaborate buttons. So he's either they're hand-me-down clothes from someone, or he used to have money but he no longer does. He's got calluses and scars. Short. Ah, the sleeves are too short for him, so they're not his clothes. They're like hand-me-down clothes. Yeah, maybe from like a thrift shop. And he's got a thin neck.
Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know. I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
Oh, that wasn't why you were
What do these
breaking in?
abbreviations mean?
No, I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan. The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
Huh?
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner. So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
It's his father's jacket.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Please, let me go. I'm innocent.
I mean, I can't decide that. Right, so... No, he wasn't breaking in to get the tobacco pouch. No. No, 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 no. Well. What? Yeah, the break-in attempts were made in order to retrieve the notebook. I thought we knew that.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
Why is it still saying B? Is there more things that I can link? Ah. We need to find out whether an unskilled and untrained man could use a harpoon well enough to kill by fully piercing a body. I mean, I'm saying no, they couldn't. But I'm happy to do experiments.
I'm sure that Watson would be happy to oblige.
Are we gonna pin Watson to the wall with a harpoon? Because I feel like that's maybe slightly extreme.
Locked.
Oh, where's Doggo? Hello.
Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire.
Hello, Doggo. Yeah, I don't know if I'm playing them in anything like order. I don't know if there is a right order. So I don't know if this one comes straight after the last one we played. And I don't know if the order that they were made is different than the chronology. It is an interesting view, isn't it?
It is useful for my work.
It looks like, what was her name? Ball breaker Sal or something. From, the other game. The Jack the Ripper one. Nutcracker,
Spot of whaling,
yes.
Watson. Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No, but we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible, but if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man?
We're getting more pigs!
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes.
Oh,
You
this
asked
does
me
come
that
after the
once
Ripper
before.
case.
On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
I mean, always, but now's not the
No.
time.
Thank goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
Okay, so we've got to go stealing from a corpse. And... we're getting pigs from a butcher.
That should do.
Yoink.
it. Now I am ready for the experiment.
Is there anything else to see in here? No. Oh, was there? There was.
Dundee. Hammerfest. It's a whaling map.
Yeah, I could tell that from the whale. Bless you, Holmes. You think you're so clever. Maybe Holmes isn't that clever. Maybe just everyone else around him is really stupid.
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise. Yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test.
Well, obviously. I'm going to be so bad at this.
Holmes, you should try to aim better and throw as hard as you can.
Holmes, just be better, will you?
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
Basically,
If it was
it's
that,
like
you'd
Holmes.
chance of 1,000.
Aim better, throw harder.
Yes.
Well, thank you for the
Let us leave
advice.
now.
I shall
Right.
do that.
But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
Very well, but please hurry.
Of course.
Oh. Oh, I thought I was Watson. I'm not Watson. I'm Holmes now. Okay, so... there is a strength requirement to pin someone to the wall. Some facts may be interpreted differently. You can always change the picture of a crime by choosing between mutually exclusive deductions. There is a remote possibility that an unskilled and untrained man... No. I think it's a feat of strength, not luck. But I may change my mind later. Who's to say? Who's to say? No, okay. Garlic soup! Enjoy your garlic soup. I love that we're just leaving the harpoon there. Where are we going now? Okay, so we need to go and talk to Nelligan again. We need to go and search the archives. Okay. So that's back at Baker Street. Ooh, Dawson and Nelligan are bankrupt. That's probably a good thing. Not a good thing that they're bankrupt, a good thing for us to have found. The Dawson and Nelligan Investment Fund, a regional banking institution based in Cornwall, has declared bankruptcy as a result of heavy losses in its loan portfolio and has accordingly been assigned for liquidation. It was the 23rd largest bank in Britain, and its bankruptcy was the second largest on record. The liquidation of the company is a pure catastrophe for many Cornwall families. Joshua Nelligan, one of the bankers, has since mysteriously disappeared. He was last seen aboard his yacht preparing for departure to Norway. Nelligan is wanted by both police and his creditors.
Here it is.
Interesting.
Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him.
So he disappeared to Norway, where they do whaling.
Good gracious, you caught someone. At least now you have a suspect.
Right, we will go and talk to Nelligan after the break. I will see you in a couple of minutes. Get fished. Oh, there's an obstacle. Oh, Sam! It's delicate. Oh yeah, I forgot I wasn't allowed here. Oh god damn it. Alright, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll leave. I'm sorry. I forgot. I mean, this game has two modes, I've found. There's confusion mode, and there's panic mode.
There's tunnels everywhere. Who would dig them? A perfect recipe. Nature or magic?
I love how they just all exploded. And then just got up as if it was nothing. I don't think Panon even noticed.
Pretty,
Funny.
but it doesn't do much. The Venatorian power is on the rise, and this part's mine.
You're not keeping that relic.
You won't be releasing any more demons.
And you're the smuggler. I know you. You're part of the Thread Crime Syndicate. Smuggling, sure. But
Oh
Red
man, that was
Lyrium,
funny.
working with Venatori.
You
Not
just
your
went.
style.
Here they are. My son.
Look at my hole. Found a peanut. Found a peanut. Found a peanut. Peanut now. Found a peanut. Found a peanut. Found a peanut. Peanut now.
We got a snake in the bush here.
Why can't I find any stairs? Yeah, we're all screaming and running this way. Yeah, we're screaming and running all together. Ah! 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 Scream and run, scream and run. Ah! 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 There's a maniac in the house, guys. Go get him.
UK off of you and Lilith, so. Alright, pick a direction! Yay! So yeah, just spam right click.
Ah! Hello. I'm glad it was good soup. Also, I'm glad we're in different countries if it was garlic soup, because garlic breath. Not pleasant. Although I'm sure you smell lovely, K-Wolf. And I'm sure the soup was delicious. Check is in, yeah, check is in Czechia.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes. Joshua Nelligan was my father.
You don't sound like you're from the
Aware
West
that it had
Country.
a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off
Awesome,
all his
K-Wolf.
debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in
It's
Norway
not rainy
in a
here,
small
but it's a bit
yacht, just
grey.
a few days before an arrest warrant was issued.
Can't see any
He
blue
left
sky.
Father a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress. Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between
Peter Carey,
and
Joshua
Nelligan's
Nelligan.
disappearance.
That's what I'm wondering. He's reading Crime and Punishment. I wonder if the novel will come into play. I do. I have read Crime and Punishment. I remember very little of it, other than it's about a very depressed dude.
1883. That's the one I need. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
Peter Carey, Charles Allison, Henry Joy, James Lancaster, Patrick Cairns, Pablo Coventrao, Ned Land, Joseph Walker, John Cook, Richard Lang, Simon Weeks, Isaac Page, Will Wright, Benjamin Tinsley, Matthew Granger, Rolf Talbot, Seth Fowler, Roger Fowler, Thomas Lawrence, Hugh Pattins, Henry Shepherd.
Log notes for June. Nothing unusual.
So, whale tail, a day, love a whale. No whales. Completely off topic. I used to take part in a citizen science project called Old Weather, which was transcribing old ship's logs from like World War, I want to say World War One times, World War Two, World War One. I'm ashamed that I can't remember which. I think it was World War One, because it was about collecting weather data from the past to help us make better predictions about the weather in the future, because to see exactly how the weather's changed between then and now, to then make more accurate predictions of how it might change in the future. And ships in their logs kept very accurate weather reports, like more accurate than this. Like here it says light breeze through the day. There would be, on most ships, hourly logs, including codes for like wind speed and cloud cover, and whether it was raining or not, whether it was snowing or not, how rough the sea was, all these sorts of things, hourly. So it's very detailed, pretty accurate, because they've got no reason to make it up, log of the weather. So it was it was quite an interesting project. So I got quite good at reading old handwriting, and also I like, you were assigned logs kind of at random, and multiple people did every log. I think three people did every log page, so that if you made a mistake, either a typo or misread something or whatever, then there were two other people, like, to provide a consensus of what it actually said. Yeah, kind of. Although not looking at each other's work, just doing the same work. And then if 2 out of 3 agree, then that's probably the right. If all 3 agree, then that's definitely right. If 2 out of 3 agree, then that's probably right. If all 3 disagreed, then they'd give it to more people to look at. And I, in particular, I did an awful lot of the logs for a ship called, I want to say HMS Laurentic. I'm going to Google it now so I don't get things wrong, because it was a fair old while ago that I was doing it. Yeah, SS Laurentic. Yes. So, and the SS Laurentic is a really interesting ship, and I didn't know anything about it before I started doing these logs, and it was just luck that I happened to get on it. But I got really into the logs because the logs were a little bit like you can see on screen, where there was the weather reports, but then there were also some reports about anything interesting that had happened on the ship and where it was and blah, 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 blah. And the Laurentic started off like as a transatlantic ocean liner, just, knocking about the place, travelling between Liverpool and Quebec. But then during World War One, she briefly served as a troop ship, and then served as an armed merchant cruiser, travelling around West Africa, Singapore, Bay of Bengal, Far East. And then she sank off the coast of Ireland. And she was carrying 43 tons of gold bars when she sank. There are still 22 gold bars unaccounted for that have not been recovered. So there is actually, you know, sunken treasure. So it's an interesting story. But like, because I knew what had happened to her, like, as I was doing the logs and it was getting close to what I knew was the end, it was quite harrowing to do the logs, because I was like, I'm getting to know these people on the boat through the logs, and I know what's going to happen to them. And they all abandoned ship, but 354 died of hypothermia in the lifeboats. So I knew that most of these people were going to die. And it was, yeah, it was quite harrowing. And there were also cases like, at one point, completely unrelated to that, a guy got injured. I think a beam landed on his head or something. Like, there was an incident and he hit his head. And then for a few days they were trying to look after him and what have you, but then he died. And I was just like, oh, this is so sad. This is just supposed to be about transcribing weather. And now it's all sad. Because I'm really getting into the, you know, the stories of the people. So it was a really interesting project to do, a really fun project to do. But it was very much like this. We had to input the latitude and longitude and input the weather. And then we also, although it was about the weather, we could also input anything else interesting about that day's log, because you might as well, you know, transcribe anything interesting that was going on the ship while you're doing the weather. So there was some emotional damage in the package. It was it was almost like I was watching a movie of it, except for, you know, it wasn't a movie because it was actually written in the handwriting of the person who was on this ship at the time. And it, you know, it's like almost like reading someone's diary or something. Oh, yeah, it hit me quite hard. But I'm really glad I got the opportunity to do it on what was ostensibly just a citizen science weather project. It was really good.
Log notes for July. Nothing special.
Light wind from north to north-northeast. Saw 2 whales. Strong wind from the north all day. Squally wind at night. Strong breeze. See, things like this. York got sick. You'd see, like, you know, stuff about what the people on the boat were up to if it was anything out of the ordinary. And
log notes for August. These pages have been torn away.
And Canadian Pacific Railway.
Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR. A torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently.
Yes.
Discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
Okay, so Wiggins might help to find the crew of the Sea Unicorn. He should be somewhere at Baker Street. Okay. Let's go talk to Wiggins then, I guess. I've got cat hair up my nose. I mean, I've always got cat hair up my nose.
I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they are still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him.
A little bit weird. Oi, Wiggins!
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
He just stands around there all day, every day.
Wiggins, I need you to track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, because his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy. Just got to look where the rum and the red lights are.
Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'll be there shortly.
Off we go then. That's the journal. Look, it's got the tabs out the top, like we have in the journal. That's quite cool. Look, it's got all these sticking out the top. It's very cool.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to see you.
As always. What happened?
As always. As in, not, I'm glad to see you too. Just, yeah, you're always glad to see me. Why wouldn't anyone be glad to see me?
Interesting. Great tell.
Well, the constable that I left at Woodman's Lee noticed a suspicious individual prowling around during the night.
Oh, that might have been me. I went and nicked a,
Yes. He refuses to
harpoon.
speak with us, but we'll make him talk.
Let us hope so.
Ah, yes, and one more thing. The constable told me that at the time of his arrest, the fellow was writing a letter.
Do you have it?
Of course. It's in the evidence room, at your disposal. Admit that for once, Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard is a step ahead of you, eh?
Breathtaking.
Boots!
The suspect's belongings.
Yoink.
Liam Hurtley's old boots.
Ooh, they're bigger than, what's his face's.
The stains are fresh. They can be removed with the proper chemicals. A pen. Nothing unusual about it.
Should I go... I think before I talk to him, I should go check all the evidence. I feel like that'll be less back and forth. Maybe? Oh, wait, where are the footprints?
These boots match the footprints exactly.
Dun dun dun! Ah, is he the gardener? Maybe he's not the gardener. Maybe there actually is no gardener. I don't know. And then Baker Street for chemicals.
I need to prepare a chemical agent that is capable of removing fresh ink. For this purpose, the chemicals from the flasks should be combined in a certain order to perform a chain reaction.
Okay.
First condition, all 7 reagents should be used.
Right.
Second condition, orange reagent should be the 3rd one in the sequence after the blue reagent.
Right.
Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Okay. That's all the conditions that we have. Oh, there's 2 orange, 2 colourless, and 2 blue. And a green. So, what if I do... I haven't thought this all the way through, so this might not work. Blue. Then green. Then blue. Then orange, then colourless, then orange, then colourless. That should do it, right?
Done.
Haha!
Proceed further.
I am so smart. I am so smart. SMRT. I mean SMART. Well, thank you kindly.
I did as you asked and hid them well. Interesting. How would Hercule react to this?
I did as you asked and hid them well. I beg you to reconsider. Ian, and remember our vows. I've done nothing dishonourable for you, for which you, me. Sure. Right, now let's go and have a chat with old fella my lad. Big Boots. I thought he was here. Oh, he's here.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
You don't have to say it like that,
Allow
Holmes.
me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I would like to ask you a few questions.
I've already told the police that I've nothing to say. And you're not even part of the police.
Precisely. And considering your situation, it might be wise to speak with someone who is, shall we say, rather more neutral. You are a suspect in a murder case.
I know. Inspector Lestrade told me. It's ridiculous.
Could you at least tell me who you are, and exactly what happened that you should be brought here?
My name is Liam Hurtley. That I can tell you. But you're not getting any more than that.
Well, we shall see.
We shall indeed. Let's have a good look at you then. No. Oh, there's the old scar. A crested tit. That's the same as the lady at the house, the wife of the dead man. I think he's the gardener. I think she said they didn't have a gardener. He's the gardener. Was she having an affair with the gardener?
Tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what were you doing at Woodman's Lee?
Woodman's Lee? I've never been there.
Well, your boots have.
The second pair of boots that you had with you when you were arrested perfectly match the footprints found near the cabin where Peter Carey was murdered.
Footprints? That's your proof? How many men have boots like mine? That doesn't make me a murderer.
That is true. It doesn't.
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven, would you care to explain it?
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
Gardening.
Because you are the gardener at Woodman's Lee.
I'm not. How did you...
I observed your hands. They told me that you work with the earth. Small fragments of plants snagged to your trousers indicate that you were mowing very recently. But the most obvious clue presented itself in the bird embroidered on your handkerchief. A crested tit, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, you got me. Yes, I am a gardener, and I went there to get my tools.
So tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what did you hide?
Hide? What are you talking about?
I did as you asked and hid them well. Should I continue?
My letter? But the ink? That's impossible.
A touch of chemistry, nothing special.
You're a smart one.
He loves it.
But it's nothing. If you want to know, I was referring to my tools. It was to do with my work, see?
I will check that, Mr. Hurtley. That's all for now. Hurtley's stories are false leads, but now I know one thing for certain. I must examine the site where the garden tools are kept at Woodman's Lee.
Yes, I must. Let's go. I also want to talk to the wife. Is she still sitting outside? Yes, she is. This is where she lives now. Just on this chair.
Does the name Liam Hurtley mean anything to you?
No, I don't know anyone by that name.
Shifty.
Madam, we have information that the valuable stolen papers are hidden amongst the garden tools here at Woodman's Lee. We need to find them.
Oh my. Our tools are kept inside the shed that's right behind me. Here is the key to open it.
Thank you, madam. Let's see what could be hidden here.
We're doing a snoop. A snoopy, snoopy, snoop. It's under the loose plank. Oldest trick in the book. It floats!
Let us see what is in this box.
What? Oh, I see. I mean, I don't really see. I don't know what I'm doing. That maybe? Nice.
A bundle of letters in a woman's hand with the Carey family monogram.
Ooh.
Hartley and Mrs. Carey were in a relationship. That is interesting.
I called it. I called it. Liam, my dear, you've been so good to me all the time that I've known you. I cannot describe these feelings, but I suppose that they are sinful and no good can come from them. I fear what might happen. I fear going against God. I thank you for your care, but I cannot leave the man with whom I have been bound by God. It is his divine will, and thus my husband is the cross that I must bear. He makes my life a living hell, but bruises fade, and you must not worry for me. He was beating her. God damn.
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hartley.
What are you talking about?
Talking about the sexy times.
Mrs. Carey, we found your letters.
My letters? I asked Liam to return them to me. I wanted to burn them.
Why did Mr. Hartley put them inside the garden shed?
I don't know. I wanted them back, but I couldn't see him, not after what happened.
Well, here they are.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. Liam, how could he? After what he has done.
You believe that he killed your husband?
No, I do not know. I do not know. Leave me alone, please.
Thank you, madam. I wonder if Wiggins has managed to find any sailors.
I hope you said that out loud. It's like, while she's there crying. Thank you. I'm going to go find some sailors now. Yeah, Liam Hartley loved Judith Carey so desperately that his jealousy could have provoked him into committing murder. Maybe. Yep. I mean, it's a motive. I don't think it was him, but it is a motive. It is indeed a motive. Anything else we can link? I guess that and that. No? Ah, so it could be harmless flirting. I think that. Maybe it wasn't a motive. Yeah, I don't think he did it. Personally. But he might have done. Okay, we can't link anything else. Yet. Well, we've made a woman cry. Our work here is done. We are going home.
Mr. Holmes, we found the sailors from that list you gave us.
Well done, Wiggins. Let me see.
Ah, he died a year ago. Who are we? Why are we? What are we underlining? Why am I underlining?
This is interesting. Let us review the other sailors now. This is interesting. This is interesting. Let us... This man is a harpooner. and his initials are PC. The same
PC.
initials that were found on the tobacco pouch. Wiggins,
Okay,
could you gather some
Holmes got me on that
information
one.
One of the sailors that you found. His name is Patrick Cairns.
We found Patrick Cairns.
Good job, Wiggins. Where is he?
He lives in a small furnished dump of a room, but he's always at the Sea Witch pub, where he does arm wrestles for money and drinks.
Excellent. Here is your reward. 2 guineas.
Thank you, sir.
So that's who the tobacco pouch belonged to. If the pouch belongs to Patrick Cairns, it indicates his presence at the crime scene, but it must still be proven. Yes, it does.
To speak to Cairns without alarming him,
Oh, we've got a sailor outfit. Yeah, we can do that. There is a sailor outfit. Let's go. Are we gonna put on a different accent?
I can always consult with.
Because we didn't do that in previous games. Oh, I see. That's locked. Okay. What's sailory? That is a good soundtrack, though. We can wear the deer stalker now, but I feel like that's more sailory, isn't it? Or that. Maybe that. No glasses. Is that sailory? That's quite sailory. A salty old sea dog.
Now I can approach Cairns and see if he recognizes the pouch.
Yeah, he looks like a sailor, right? I think so. Should I?
This is where I keep my archive.
Okay.
I can always consult.
Ah, we're reading Crime and Punishment. Hello, fellow sailors. I am also a sailor. I do sailing. Yep. That's me. I'm a sailor. Uh-huh. Yes. Sailor. Hello, fellow sailor.
Hello there. Are you Cairns?
We've put a different voice on.
We've heard all about the gambling and arm wrestling here. You seem like.
I am impressed, Sherlock. You've grown.
I start at 10 shillings.
Suits me.
Oh, God. Follow Patrick Cairns' facial expressions to understand his moves. Push, restrain, idle, and plan your counter strategy. Pay attention to your stamina. I am not going to be good at this. That's what I'm trying to do, but I haven't always got the stamina to do it. And then I run out of stamina when he starts pushing. Come on! So close. Yeah!
You were lucky. I wasn't focused. Let's go again.
Oh, that took so long. He's got yellow nails, so he's a smoker.
I'm ready to try again.
Fine. If you want me to take all your money.
Don't know if I need to try again.
No problem with that.
I don't know why I need to do this again. Yeah, I've got the hang of it now.
Well, good for you, I reckon. You're stronger than you look. Here's your 10 shillings.
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Good winner as well. That's good. Let's have a drink.
Cheers, my dears.
You're a good type. Seems you've managed to settle down in life. You've got money, eh?
Not all that much.
Oh, well. At least you're not as poor as me.
Why do you say poor? You're not working?
I'm a harpooner. But you see, the whalers are rare. They don't pay much. So, as a result, I find myself arm wrestling to pay for my drink.
A harpooner. Interesting. You've had a lot of adventures, I bet.
Of course. It's been a dozen years since I sailed. I've seen everything. Old Wallace, Dan Black Peter, Great Roger. We sailed to the Cape of Good Hope.
Black Peter, you say? I've heard rumors about that one.
He was the worst of them all. He was a liar, and violent too. Swinging those fists of his around. He was a tyrant, and not much of a captain. At least, not as good as Great Roger.
I see. Yes, I was told terrible tales about Black Peter.
But you ain't heard the worst.
Tell me, and let's have another drink.
It was in 1883 that it happened. The August of that year. Peter Carey was captain of the Sea Unicorn, and I was a spare harpooner. We were coming out of the ice pack on our way home. One evening, we saw a little craft that had been blown north. There was only one man on her, and he wasn't a sailor. The crew
We know who that was.
and they made for the Norwegian coast in the dinghy. I guess they all drowned. We took the man on board.
Who was he? Because I don't know.
And who was he?
I don't know. During the crossing, he and the skipper enjoyed some long talks. His baggage was just a tin box.
That's strange enough.
Aye. Even stranger was that on the second night, he disappeared. Nobody knew
Dun
what happened
dun
to him.
dun.
And of course,
Presumably the tin box had all the shares in it.
about it.
You know what happened, don't you?
I do. I saw the skipper tie his heels and push him over the rail in the middle of my watch on that dark night.
I like his
2
jumper.
days before we sighted the Shetland lights.
Black Peter's a murderer.
Aye.
I'm not quite sure that it's possible to knit a jumper like that.
Stay between us, all right?
Of course.
Like with the... There's no pearl stitches. So I don't know how the raised bits are raised. Quite. I'm judging pictures of knitwear for their inaccuracy. This game is completely unplayable. If the knitwear isn't physically possible. What's going on? What's going on?
Back in a second. I'm off to the Kazi.
I'll be here with my drink.
Is this where the toilet is? No? Where's the toilet? Are we actually going to the toilet? What are we doing? What am I doing? Plant the pouch in Cairns' pocket. Okay. There we go.
Here it is.
I hope we didn't say, here it is. I've been to the toilet.
Have you got any tobacco? I've run out of mine.
Nah, I lost my pouch. I don't know where. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, is this your tobacco pouch?
Well, oh, it is.
Dun dun dun.
Well, I have to go now. I know a captain who's planning an expedition to Cape Cod. Captain Ahab's his name. He commanded the Pequod. He might need good harpooners. I'll tell him about you.
Isn't that Moby Dick?
If you like, aye.
I'm done here. It's time to leave.
I hope he says all of that out loud. Just stands up and starts talking in his normal voice. Right, where are we going now? What are we doing? Maybe we go to... Maybe we want to go and talk to... What's his name again? About his father. Oh, maybe we want to get changed first. Or not. Oh. We did get changed first. Okay.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
I'm not saying another word.
No, alright. Then Baker Street, maybe?
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
You met Patrick Cairns, the harpooner. Do you believe he's the murderer?
No.
Brave
He's a good
Toby,
boy.
the best
He's a
known
good
British
boy.
empire.
He's a good boy, Toby. Right, what am I supposed to do? John Nelligan seems not to be a usual thief. What's his role in all that? I don't think there's anything to do here. She's still crying.
Leave me alone, please.
God's sake, woman. Get over it. We've nearly solved a whole murder in the time you've been sat there crying. Well...
Mr. Holmes? At your service, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Holmes?
Oh, we can look at these again.
Suspect's belongings.
That's what we needed to do. Yes, 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 yes.
Now we have the proof that Nelligan's papers were indeed here. It seems that they have vanished, however.
Valuable bond certificates were kept inside the stolen box. John Nelligan could have been caught stealing the bond certificates. That might have been a motive for him to murder Peter Carey. That could have been a motive. Indeed. And he's quite strong. Yeah, or breaking attempts. I don't think the breaking attempts were to retrieve the notebook. I think he was looking for the papers. Oh yeah, that's Nelligan. That's the kid. Yeah, he doesn't fit the portrait of the murderer. Nelligan's innocent. Hurtley's innocent. It's the it's Patrick Cairns who done did it, I think. Cairns has confirmed the patch belongs to him. This means he was at the scene of the murder. I mean, it doesn't prove his guilt. It proves his visit. Right? Or does it prove his guilt? Solve the case by accusing those who are guilty and seal their fate. There's always... What? I think Cairns is guilty. Because he was drinking together with someone. and then got murdered and he got murdered with a harpoon, and Cairns is a harpooner. Cairns is guilty. It wasn't in self-defense. You don't stab someone with a harpoon in self-defense. I think that one. I'm confirming my moral choice. Lock him up and throw away the key.
If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Holmes, could you explain it to me?
As I informed you on our way here, Patrick Cairns is the murderer of Black Peter.
Why bring me here? Wouldn't it be better if we were out looking for him?
That would be futile, as he will be with us in approximately 12 seconds.
Oh, well, if this is your idea of humour...
No, I just heard the front door. Prepare yourself.
Good day, gentlemen. A young lad gave me a note from Captain Ahab. Am I at the right address? Is he here?
Indeed, it is the correct address. But in place of your captain, may I present to you Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard?
That means...
It means, my friend, you are arrested for the murder of Black Peter.
What? What? A trap? You think you can take me?
Here now. We'll have none of that.
And I say that we will.
Yoink. Oh, God. Ah! Oh, no! I was going to say I pushed it. It didn't seem like I pushed it, but I pushed it. Yeah, got an achievement.
Are you able to stand?
Oh, my jaw. God. You took me by surprise, Mr. Holmes. Otherwise, you would have seen what I'm capable of. Oh.
Yes, he was lucky.
But you got him.
It was remarkably easy. He lost his balance after he struck you.
And you practice boxing, I know. You must have hit him hard. Our fellow is knocked out.
We should call for a police cab and then take you to the hospital.
Yes, well, no need for a hospital. I would prefer to keep this between us. You know.
Of course, Inspector. The case is closed.
Peter Carey was made Hold to check your conclusion. May spoil game exit. I'm not going to replay it. I'm going to accept my decision. So I'm going to check my conclusion. So Cairns is guilty. And we found all the clues. Yay! And I guess the moral choice is a moral thing. Like, that's completely up to us. You're about to finish the case. Your files for the case will be removed. Press no if you would like to select another moral choice. Press yes if you agree with it. I agree with the choice. I'm going to stick with the choices we made.